Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss about Sitecore configurations. So what are the Sitecore configurations and how Sitecore uses them, and how we can customize some of those configurations, and how we can introduce our own configurations. So let's try to cover all of them. And before moving further, whatever I'm trying to cover today is applicable from version 9 onwards, so version 9 and above. And I know that few people who are following this video series working on Sitecore 8, so please keep an eye. I mean, whatever I'm showing you, some of these features are not available in prior to version 9. So let's get started. As we all know, we already have Sitecore 10.1, and I'm on the launch pad now. Let me go to the control panel. In Sitecore, all the operations are performed through configuration files. So what do we mean by configuration? Configuration is, it can have some settings like how we have app settings in .NET, like key and value. Those can be there, as well as also, if you remember from ASP.NET, like web forms, you have a page lifecycle, and even in MVC you have a request pipeline, I mean request processing. So similarly in the Sitecore, whatever the operation we perform, even in the content authoring environment, like you save an item, or you publish an item, or you create an item, when you do that, in behind the scenes, a lot of classes or methods are executing in a pure development terms. So those, what class to or what method to be executed is all set in the configuration files. So let's just see. I'm in the control panel. You can go to administrator tools, and here if you go, you will have a show config. Let's click on show config. So this is a final merge of all the configuration files for this environment. So we have installed that Sitecore 10.1, right? So for that, all the configurations are getting merged, and we can see in the single view. You see this bar, like how much big is this scroll bar. So this much configurations are there. What I'm talking about all the operations is, let me just see some item saved. So you can see here item saved. It's an event. It's getting triggered when you are creating an item in Sitecore and you are saving it. It is getting triggered, and you see all the handlers. This gets triggered. So on the method on item saved, it is going and it is triggering item event handler. In the links, globalization, rules, all these things are getting triggered. Imagine if you don't want to trigger, just for the example, if you don't want to trigger this caching IDs by alias cache clearer, we can disable this, although not ideal, but we can disable this. So that is what we meant by configuration, and this we can like customize whichever way we want. If we want to replace this whole thing with our own custom code, we can replace it. If we want to execute, instead of this, we want to execute something else, we can do it. We can completely delete it, we can modify it, we can update it. So all these operations we can do with the custom configuration files. And from where does it is pulling all these configurations is, let's go to our deploy location, which is under initpub www se10, this place. And here if you go, you can observe there is a app_config file, a config folder. So if you go under this is where you have all ton of configuration files. So you go to Sitecore, well, ton of configurations, as well as include, you have some of configurations. All these configurations are getting merged, and it will be shown as a single view in this. So this is a very high level of configurations. I have few slides to go through, then we can come back to these, like how we can modify and all. So first of all, when we are talking about configurations in Sitecore 9 and above, there is a concept introduced called rule-based configurations. So that means you can have some rules, and based on that rules, what configuration need to be enabled or disabled, it can be decided. It's a kind of a rule, rules we are defining it. So, and let's see. First, there are some basic concepts we need to be aware, like server roles. So currently, when we have installed in local, we have installed like Sitecore in a single instance. I mean, single server. That means our local developer machine is acting as a single server. All the instances, be it a CM, CD processing or standard processing, all these are acting as a one single machine. But this is the local developer. This is well and good. It is for development. But if it is for, we need to move this for the higher environments, maybe quality environment, maybe UAT, user acceptance testing environment, or maybe the production. In that areas, we would obviously do not want to have all of them in a single server, because scaling is very much required. So Sitecore by default provides all these scaling, some of the scaling topologies where we can split and install in multiple servers. So that split can be done at content management and content delivery, CM/CD. We already seen before, but to define briefly, content management environment is where content authors are going to log in and manage their content. That's as it is, as simple as it is. And it would be typical environment production or higher level environments. This environment would be behind the firewall. So, and next one is content delivery, CD environment. This is where the live website visitors are coming and browsing the website. And this usually would be on the load balanced environment to handle the traffic as well as to make that high availability. And processing is, just to give a brief definition of processing, I mean, website is live and up and running. So a lot of visitors are coming and doing a number of operations on the website, be it browsing the site, clicking on some links, and maybe filling up the forms, whatnot. So when they're doing that, a lot of analytics data is getting generated. All these raw analytics data get saved in a database called Experience Analytics Database. In that database, it will be saved as a pure raw data, but it need, I mean, when the marketers will not be able to make anything out of this raw data, so it need to be processed and better visually shown for the marketers, so that they can make some decisions out of it. So for that reason, the processing, there is a separate role involved where it just extract all this raw analytics data, I mean kind of ETL process. It will transform and it will make it available for the reporting purpose. And again, it will just save it in the another database called reporting database. So that's the job of processing. It will be heavy operation, so it can be scaled out. I mean, it can be installed in another server. All these three instances, when you are installing, I mean, it will be like pretty normal Sitecore installation only. You will install Sitecore normally only, like how you are installing. You will use some safe scripts and you will install. But which server is acting as a CM, which server is acting as a CD, that all decides based on your configurations. So, and also the last one is a standalone. Standalone is like single instance performing all the roles, which we have seen, I mean, which we have currently developer workstation installation. And there are few points to note. There was a reporting role previously where it just fetches from reporting database and show it in the reporting applications. This was made absolute in the recent versions. And another one is indexing sub role. Indexing is like whenever content authors publish some content, all these get saved in database, obviously in the web database. While saving it, it need to index that content in the search engine as well, which is by default is a Solr. For that, it need to send a request. So all those work would be done by indexing. It will be something called a sub role, like CM and indexing. So that kind of a sub role it will act as. And all these roles need not be necessary that you install one server and you made content management. You can also make it as a content management comma processing. So that means that that server act as a both content management job as well as it will perform both content management job as well as processing job, and another one can act as a content delivery role. So that all can be possible. And let's see the examples. It is these settings are defined in the Sitecore instance web web.config file. You will have some of these settings, app settings. So when we define when we set here in the role define, if we make it as a content management, that means the role that server performs is only content management. It will not perform any activities of content delivery or processing. So that is the purpose of this. If you ever worked with prior to Sitecore 9, this was a little painful configuration settings, because you need to enable and disable a lot of configuration files to just make this like, okay, this is a processing server, this is a reporting server, this is a content delivery server. For that, you need to make a lot of configuration files, .config files, XML files, enable and disable. It was much painful. We used to have a big Excel sheet and go through that and enable and disable certain files. But it is much better now in Sitecore 9 and above, much easy. Just flip this setting. And second thing is search define. So again, each Sitecore instance requires some search engine. In this case, if at all we want, like, obviously by default is Solr. So that means this particular environment is using Solr settings and using Solr search engine. If you want to change it, you can just change it. Azure Search is all still supported, but later versions it is getting deprecated. But now if you want to just switch this, you can just have like Azure here. Then that would be act as like Azure environment using Azure search engine. And next is, okay, we have seen big configuration files in the showconfig.aspx, right? So from where these all configuration coming from, and what are the layers and all. So just to tell briefly, these layers are very useful to easily manage, and even for the upgrade purpose as well. So there are like few things are Sitecore owned files, and few things are like our custom configuration files. So we need to make clear separation to them, so that when we are currently we are on 10.1, if there is 11 version release, we want to upgrade to that, we need to be able to make the upgrade pretty easily. That means we are not touching Sitecore files. So Sitecore files will be overridden obviously when we upgrade. So that's the whole purpose of it. And there are four layers mainly, which is the Sitecore. All the Sitecore default configurations will be here, out of the box configurations. And modules is where you will have like any extra modules on top of Sitecore. So you have SXA, you have PowerShell, these kind of modules, stable ones, but they will be deployed on modules folder. And these two, custom and environment, is what we are going to use a lot, developers. So these two are like we can use for any custom configurations, patches, modify some settings. All this work is done by us in this, targeting to this two layers, include an environment. And next one is load order. Load order is very, very important for us to understand, because if there is a same setting which is present in two configuration files, obviously one will be overridden, right? So which one will be overridden? The last one, which is patched in the load order, that will override the previously previously available setting in the load order. So we need to make sure that load order is very critical in this. By default, like this is the load order. So basic system files like layers.config, which contains all the load orders, and connection string, web config, these are all will load first. Next come to Sitecore layer, which we just saw, like all the Sitecore out of the box configurations will load. Then next modules, all the SXA kind of PowerShell, all these configurations will be loaded. Then next comes our two layers, like custom layer, like all the custom configurations and all, and environment. If at all you have some settings which are like maybe QA, you have different settings, maybe higher environment, you have a different settings, in the dev environment you have different settings. So in that kind of a scenario, we will use environment. So imagine Sitecore is defining some setting, maybe default is like cache size is false. So disable cache size is false, but I want to enable it. So by default Sitecore make it as a false, but if I want to enable it is true, I will load it in my custom configuration. That means disable cache size is false here in the Sitecore layer that loaded first, but later custom layer I made it as a true. So this will eventually override this Sitecore layer setting. So this is the order, like Sitecore and modules will load first, then our configuration. So we have a flexibility to modify any setting from the Sitecore out of the box configuration without touching any Sitecore files. Because imagine, rather than making custom layer, if you are coming into Sitecore and directly made that setting in that config file as true, that will be overridden when the next upgrade happens. So that is the reason we need to be aware that we should not touch any files under Sitecore or modules. So we should never touch those files. And so we should not touch, then how we will do the changes? That is what the beauty of configuration patches. So we use the config patches to make the changes whatever we require in the Sitecore files. So there are some namespaces which are like default is you have to use this XMLness patch, this XML config namespace. If you want to use some settings, then you can use this set as well. If you have created a new website, if you are following this series and initial videos itself, we have created a new website. That itself, we have seen that we have created one configuration file. So there itself we applied a patch. So you see here, this was one example. So patch before name website. So we are patching it before website. I will show you in a moment. And what are the patch options are available? So all the things, like if you want to patch before something, before some settings or after some settings or elements, and delete instead attribute. You can also change this, like if you have like name and all, you can change the attribute name as well. You can replace this whole site element, or you can also change this name attribute. So all the things are possible by patching. And next thing is, this is one very good one for the about 9, because if at all you are creating some custom configuration, this would be applicable for all the server roles, like be it a CM, CD and processing role, all these indexing, all these things will get this patch. But I don't want it to be executed everywhere. I want it to be executed, or I want it to be patched only into the particular server role. So in that scenario, we will use this namespace clip XMLness role, and we will say role requires content management. That means we are saying if at all you want to patch this, you only patch this to the content management server role. So this is very useful patching, patch plus role. And next thing is, okay, we have put all the patchings, all the configurations there, but while testing or for whatever the reason, we want to disable some configuration files. So how do we disable it? The traditional way of disabling is still valid in Sitecore. So you can just go to the particular file and change the extension like .config to like whatever it is, .disabled or .example or whatever the way, it gets disabled. But there are some advantages to disable in other ways, like you can disable whole folder or particular file by going to the layers config, and you can just change this. So you see here, first one is just changing the config. Rather than marking it as a disabled, can go to the layers config and just mark it as a mode equal to off. That means Sitecore will not load this or will not consider this configuration file anymore. And if you have a bunch of configuration files under particular folder, if you want to disable whole folder itself, then you can go to that particular folder in the layers config and mark that as a mode equal to off. That will not load any folders under that. And these are like by default. So if you want to entire layer, so layer we just spoke, right? Like we have Sitecore modules, custom and environment. Maybe we want to try something and we want to see the configurations, or just imagine we are troubleshooting some issue. We are not sure whether it is caused by our custom configurations or maybe from Sitecore default configuration. We want to identify it quickly. So we want to disable all our custom configurations. How do we do that? Rather than going and disabling all the files or deleting those files, we can just go and check like, okay, custom mode equal to off. That means anything under custom layer, it will not consider. So that means pure vanilla Sitecore is working. So how do we, okay, next is Sitecore also introduced one new administrator tool, which is show config layers.aspx. If at all we are working through some of these configuration layers and we want to see how final result will come, we can do this selection and we can select this and check how the final merged configurations will appear. We already seen show config.aspx, but this is another page which is show config layers.aspx. So that's enough about theory. Let me show you just a few pieces how it all works. First of all, we have, as I said, like we already seen patching in our custom configurations. So for that, we already defined Sitecore site definitions. So you see configuration and XMLS patch, XMLS config, and Sitecore sites and Sitecore demo. We are explicitly saying this. We are using patch before. We can, as I said, like patch before, patch after, patch instead, all the patch delete, all those things are there. So we are explicitly saying you have to patch this site before website. So let me quickly show you this. So this is already created, and if I go to here, notice this whole section is sites, and if I go to site name, site, all these things, it is telling Sitecore demo. So this is a site definition. We patched it, but observe that we have mentioned that patch before website, right? So it is telling, it is just appended patch before the website. That's why it is coming top of website. If we do patch after, then it will come after website. And also observe one thing, which will come, it will also come for your troubleshooting purpose. It will be easy from where this is came. Like it is telling patch source. Patch source came from site definition.config file. So this is our configuration file, so that you can quickly go and check that where is this configuration file, and this is the configuration file is patching that. Now let's go and see. This is just a brief example of whatever we have done already. Let's see all these role definition, site search definition, and all other configuration. For that, first go to the web config, just right click, edit notepad ++. Yeah. So yeah, so if you are coming here and this is the configuration, this is a website web config. You remember already, even though we have a web config in our solution, we always marked it as a not to override, do not copy, because Sitecore comes with predefined web config. It has a lot of settings, so we do not want to override, because that makes the Sitecore whole instance is working. So this is a Sitecore web config, and it is pretty huge. And what we want to check is, we want to check role define. So this is what it is. So role define. Anytime if you want to understand particular server is acting as which role, you can go to that web config and check what is defined here. So this is defined as a standalone. That means this acts as all these roles. But if it is marked as a content management, that only performs content management. So like that we can understand. And you can see here supported server roles, and most of the time in the Sitecore configuration file you will have pretty good comments explaining what is those, what are those. So default value is standalone. And second thing is supported search providers. Search define here. If you are setting Solar, that means this is a Solar, and also you can set Azure. So Azure search. This is pretty much we will change on the web config, web.config. If at all you want to patch it, you you can't use Sitecore configuration patches for this. This is the default web config. You need to use either web config transforms, or you have to do it manual updates. So this cannot be updated using Sitecore configuration patch files. And next thing is, so this is only mainly on the Sitecore main web config. And let's go and see under app config. So app config, there are a lot of files here. One another file like which you come across, maybe this term little confusing, Sitecore web config, we will call Sitecore web config. That means this is the one, sitecore.config file under app config. This contains predominantly all the settings. Let's open this. So it has all this data folder, where this data folder is, where our license file, where the media folder, template. So like this, you will have ton of configurations here. Remember, we are not going to modify anything here. If at all we want to, we will, again, this one cannot be, just a sec. So you will have all these configuration, and this is pretty much big compared to your normal web.config file. Okay. And let me go to the, as I said, system files, right? System files, connection and layers, all these things cannot be modified using config patches. Let me go to include now. Sorry, not include, Sitecore. First layer is Sitecore. So all these Sitecore configurations, and if you go to content search, it has like all this content search related. And if you go to maybe experience forms, you have like bunch of configuration files. It is very neatly segregated. If you have worked on 8, it is not like this. And let's go and check layers.config. So here we see, so order is defined here. Let me just go here. Yeah, order is defined here. See, first layer it is going to load is Sitecore, second is modules, third is custom, fourth is environment. So this is how the order is. If at all you want to change the order, you need to come and change here. Maybe if you want to put environment up or what, although we do not want to do that, but if at all you want to change, this is where the layers. And first if you go to Sitecore, so let's just go to Sitecore. Okay, just let's imagine. So Sitecore configuration, it started loading and it went to layers and it checked. So okay, the layer first defined is Sitecore. So let's go to Sitecore, but it has a lot of files. Okay, what need to be loaded first? If you have not defined anything, it will go like alphabetical order, like first folder it will load, all inside again based on the alphabetical order it will load. But we can also control this order. How it is controlled? Again in the layers config. So you can see here, add path content search Azure. So all of them will be loaded first. So first thing it is loading is content search Azure, and next is reporting. So like this, so you can say reporting, it's loading reporting. So like that we can control the order. Remember, prior to Sitecore 9, that's still valid. So if it is something is not defined in the layers.config, then it will be loaded after layers.config. And again, if any files are here, those individual files, the config files, it will be loaded in the parent directory. Then it will go to alphabetically each subdirectory and load them. So if at all you have observed any Sitecore implementations, you will see a lot of times JED and all. That is reason is like they want it to load like at the very last, because it cannot be overridden further because it is loading at the last. So this is the Sitecore configurations. And now if you go to module, I don't have a module itself because I have not installed anything related to module. I mean, there is no SXA, there is nothing, right? So that's not there here. Next one in the order is include. So if you see here, this include is the custom one. So if you go here, layer, custom is pointing to include, and it has some load order inside, foundation, feature and project. Let's go to the include folder. Obviously there is no foundation and feature, so it will be skipped. and project is there, so project will be loaded next, and it will load the site definition, whatever the builder's local site definition we have created. And even now examples is not specified under layers.config, I mean in the load order, but it will still be loaded because after all the folders or files specified in the load order, it will come back to the example. It will come back to the remaining folders in alphabetical order. So only remaining folder is examples, and it will go here, and it will try to load all the files in alphabetical order. But notice these are all files are appended with .examples. .example. I mean any extension other than .config, those fields will be skipped, ignored from the Sitecore configuration. So all these files are, like as the name suggests, these are for example purpose, and so this will not be loaded in this will not be considered from the Sitecore configuration. It will not be finally loaded into show config.aspx. So if you go to here, it will not be present. And that's pretty much about overall like how the configurations work and where the load order is defined and what all the files getting loaded and how we can define custom configuration and put it. In the later videos, we will see pipelines, customization, and how we patch the configuration, how we can do settings and all these things. And if you want to further read, other than Sitecore documentation is good. Other than this, Camrose has given like one of the very nice blog post way back when Sitecore 9 was introduced. It was in 2017, but it is a very good blog post which defines all the things around configurations. I will leave the link in the description. Please go through this, and that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.